Okay, here's the next question. We're integrating, this time with limits, we're going from 2 to 5, of x over x minus 1 all square rooted, and we're told to let our u be equal to x minus 1. Sunny, what's the first thing we'll probably do? Yeah. Write it as x equals u plus 1. Okay, that'll be an important line for later on. Next thing, Sunny? Yep. Work out dx du. What is dx du? Yep. Next thing we do. You're doing very well so far. Yeah, okay. So the important lines here will probably be that line and that line. Sam, what do we do now?
Rewrite the original.
Yeah, rewrite the original question. Now, we have a slight issue here that we have to address. These limits over here. These limits are x numbers. In a minute, we're going to end up with something with a du on the end. And at that point, these x numbers need to be changed into u numbers.
But I thought du equal dx.
It does here, yes, but we still need to make this change in every single question you do. If you're changing from a dx to a du, these numbers here have to be the same. dx and du are equal to each other, but x and u are not equal to each other. So what I would always do now is do a little table. If you're doing one with limits, I do a little table. I've got to change x numbers into u numbers. I've got to change x equals 2 and x equals 5 into u numbers. How do I do it? Well, I know here's the relationship. U is equal to x minus 1. So if x is 2, u is equal to 2 minus 1. And if x is 5, u is equal to 5 minus 1. So I've got to change my limits. Change limits into u numbers. And then I can do exactly what Sam said a minute ago, which is rewrite the question. And to make it clear, what I tend to do now is actually write, instead of just writing 1 and 4, I actually write u equals 1 and u equals 4, so I know I've actually changed them into u numbers. Okay, so what can I replace x with? Well, I've got that in my box over here, so the top of my fraction becomes u plus 1. The bottom of my fraction is the square root of x minus 1. How can I write down the square root of x minus 1? Sorry?
U squared to the power of 1. No, u to the power of half.
Yeah, that's right. X squared minus 1 is u. So square rooting x minus 1 is the same as square rooting u, which is u to the power of a half. And then I've got to replace dx. Here we go, dx is equal to du. Now at the moment that may not look easier than the original question. But when you're integrating a fraction and there's just one bit on the bottom, can anybody think of what we could do, how I could rewrite that, anything I could do to that to make that more doable?
Inverse.
Sorry?
Find the inverse.
I'm not going to find the inverse.
U to the minus a half. Or I'll split it across.
Yes, I think I know what you mean when you split it across. Okay, I'm going to write this first bit down again. Nothing is changing just here on my integral sign. But this fraction here means each of the things on the top is divided by the thing on the bottom. So I can split that up as u over u to the half. And then I can add 1 over u to the half. That's just rewriting that fraction. It's just splitting it up into its component bits. And I will keep that du there on the right.
Yeah, and then I'm going to write that bit as the 1 over u to the half as u to the negative half.
Yeah. And then at this stage you can try and simplify each of these. I'm still writing this bit out here unchanged. What is u divided by u to the half? And if you want to put a 1 in there to help you out, you can do. What is u to the power of 1 divided by u to the power of a half? Remember, you're dividing, so you do a taking away with the powers. This bit here becomes u to the half. So now adding on. 1 over u to the half. Bryony, what's 1 over u to the half the same as? Yeah, u to the minus a half. And then I've got my du. So now I need to integrate these bits. Greg, can you integrate u to the power of a half for me, please?
2u to the minus half.
Integrating is when we're adding the powers. Have another go?
Oh.
Adding 1 onto the power.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. 2u to the power of 3 over 2.
Right, 3 over 2. Okay. What do we do with that new power? Yes, divide by the new power. Okay. Add 1 to the power, divide by the new power. We'll make it look nicer in a minute, but that's right. Then over here, Tom, can you integrate u to the minus a half for me, please?
Half. Oh, so u to the half over a half.
Yeah, add 1 to the power, divide by the power. This is a definite integral, so we'll put it in the square brackets with our limits on there. At this point I would just write this out more simply. Dividing by 3 over 2 is the same as, yeah, timesing by 2/3. Over here, dividing by a half is the same as timesing by 2. Okay, I'm labouring this, I'm writing sort of every single step down, you might miss some of these out. Now, because it's a definite integral, you do not have to switch back into x's. If it's a definite integral, you just do your substitution, you do not change back. So definite integral, you do not switch back to x's.
How do you know if it is or not?
Because in this question, where this question started, up at the very top, we had these numbers on there. That's what makes it into a definite integral. So we don't have to switch back into x's. Because we're only looking for a number answer here. We're not looking for an answer with an x in it.
Okay.
Because if we're going to stick numbers in, we're just going to get a number out. So you don't change anything back to x's, you just keep going then, substitute in. So I'm going to stick my 4 in everywhere, so it's 2 lots of 4 to the power of 3 over 2 over 3. Take away 2 times, basically I'm just substituting in. I've written that out correctly. Now you can either just type that into a calculator. At this stage you've got enough working out down to back it up. Ben, what is 4 to the power of 3 over 2?
I just did it on the calculator one.
Can you talk us through the process if you didn't have a calculator?
Cube it and then square root it.
Yeah, I would tend to do the other way around, to make the numbers smaller before you make it bigger.
Okay, so you have 64 then.
Yeah, so here, that 4 to the power of a half is 2, and then you've got to cube that, so that will be 8. 4 to 3 over 2 is 8. 8 times by 2 is 16, you're dividing that by 3, so that's 16 over 3. Over here, 4 to the power of a half is the square root of 4, that's 2. 2 times by 2 is 4. Over here, Eve, what's 1 to the power of 3 over 2? Yeah, so that just becomes 2/3 there. Over here, 1 to the power of a half is just 1. And then finally, I think some people are ahead of me. What answer did you get?
24.
So 20 over
20 over 3, yeah. Okay, that's an exact answer. It's a numerical answer. We started with a definite integral, so no x's in it. It's a number answer. That's it. Question done. Job done.